traded today. Took a trade long in the VIX to start the day off. We went over a 1919 support level, pre-market on our watch list. Stock on the opening candle dipped down to 1920. We got long 1930 with a stop at the low of the days. Stock rips up. Had a decent trade there. Second time I took the trade, I got heavy. I was trading literally 2.5 times the size I was on my first trade. Ended up giving a little bit back there and took another stab at it, which ended up being a pretty much break-even trade. It did end up rallying, did end up working out, and then obviously reversed as the market reversed, right? And I was nervous about the VIX play because it was a follow-through day. Big day yesterday. Traded again. You got to be careful because on the second day of a big move, which would be a big move today, 1920 to 21, right? Pretty big move relative to the ATR. You've got to be careful because there's a high probability the stock won't close on the highs, all right? Now, we're not out of the woods yet with all the stuff that's going on here. So the VIX is probably going to get another big move, within the next week or two. We'll just have to see how everything pans out. So I traded the VIX. I took a stab on cores. I took 2 stabs on cores. Small losers, that's okay. One was a 10-cent risk. One was a 13-cent risk. Again, small losers, risking 10 cents to make $1, risking 10 cents to make $1.50, risking 13 cents to make 2 points. Those are the kind of gains. That's the kind of risk reward you want. All right, so it's okay that I got stopped out, 10-cent loss, right? Couple $100 here, couple $100 there, trying to make $2,000, trying to make $1,500. That's fine. All right, my big winner and I had a winner on the VIX. I had a winner on CPB. I missed the other 4 of my trades, but we got alerted CPB buying here and selling all the way into this pop. And again, I tell everybody when I'm selling, I'm going to sell through the highs. We kind of established a high here. It pulled back. Still was in profit most of the time. It gets a rally again and was selling through the spike of the highs all the way up here to 48.70s. All right, buying 47.80s. So huge money to be made on these news plays. Now, when you trade these news plays, you're always going to be long towards the initial move. So let's say that you get the alert in the chat room and it's trading 47.78. All right. So where's your risk? What's your risk against? Well, your risk is against the base of the move, 47.60. So you got a 20-cent risk. The news here was potential buyout, that they had been approached. So huge news, right? So as long as you know the direction of the news, a buyout, merger talk, talk of a company buying somebody out, they've been approached, anything like that, they've hired Goldman Sachs to be advisors, anything like that is takeout stuff. And if you get it early, as long as you know the direction of the move. Now, the stuff that I would avoid trading would be like FDA approvals, right? Because FDA approvals can get an initial pop, and then as you read through, you find it's more of a conditional approval. It can only be used in certain cases versus a blanket approval of the drug. So the stock will initially spike, and the next thing you know, it's dropped 20 points, right? So you got to be careful on which ones you play. But any kind of, again, buyout, takeover rumor, upgrades or downgrades, you know the direction the stock should move. You've got your initial risk against the move, and as long as you get it early enough, then you're good. You always know your risk is against the initial move. If you think it's something that can go, it'll go, right? Or hopefully it'll go. But you know what your risk. If you're risking to take 1,000 shares, you've got 20 cents from the initial move, you're risking $200, right? Get a 2-point move, you make $2,000. So pretty simple stuff. It takes a little getting used to on the news plays, like you saw in the beginning of the video. So I do recommend people practice trading them first, versus just throwing real money at them. But it is a very, very good source and one of the most overlooked source. Part of our memberships, you have somebody that's been doing this for 18 years, and that's what they do. That's what their specialty is trading the news. So if you have somebody like that, you can kind of piggyback off the news they're using versus paying $3,000 a month, which is what we pay for news services, and then looking at 10 things at one time and trying to figure out what's good and what's not. Very selective on what we put in the room. It's not all going to be actionable. You can wait for volume to come in and that sort of thing, but there is the the occasional just big pick. I traded two news plays today. I traded this one. I traded Amgen, which was Bill Ackman rumor. Now those Ackman rumors hadn't been working as well, and this one just got an initial spike and then pulled back. I lost $100 on this. I told the room I took 500 shares. Initially, I added a little bit, sold, and sold again. It averaged out to be a 10-cent loss, which is nothing wrong with that, right? But this would have gone to 154, and I made $1,000 instead. I lost $100. So you got to be careful with the ones you play. But again, you can almost always scalp these news plays. They're pretty easy to scalp. Just be selective on the ones you play. Practice for a while. Figure out what stories you like. But I'll also tell you the stories that I play, which I don't play nearly every one of them. I played out of 20 or 30 that were put in the room today. I played two. I played CPB and I played Amgen. Those were the two that I chose. Right. Traded 4 total names today. CPB again, my big winner. Only takes one of those big winners to make your whole day. But that's what I played. Again, hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow in the chat room. If you have any questions, you can email me, Kavan at tradewithkavan.com. Everybody have a good night. Again, hopefully we'll see you first thing in the morning.